Hey, what's up folks, how's it going? This is Waj from MW Technology, and today we're going to be taking a look at entry-level e-scooters. We reviewed quite a number of them in the past, but I've been recently testing out the Hiboy S2. Now at first glance, it pretty much looks like all of the other adult entry-level scooters, ranging from $400 to $500, with a maximum range of 17 miles or 27 kilometers and a top speed of 18 miles per hour or 30 kilometers an hour. Now apart from that, you can also fold this scooter up, and it is quite compact as well as lightweight at under 32 pounds or 14 kilograms. Now there are three key features that this scooter offers at this price point that aren't really available elsewhere based on our testing. Firstly, at the back, you actually have a rear swing arm with dual shock absorbers. Now we are running hard compound non-pneumatic tires with no air on them, which is great if you want to eliminate the chance of ever having to deal with a puncture, but bad in terms of overall ride quality since they're less forgiving. Thankfully, we do have that rear suspension system which absorbs some of the bumps at the back, but at the front there is still no suspension system, which makes riding rough roads and overall kind of cobblestone street surfaces a little bit uncomfortable at the front of the scooter, but at least we do have something at the back to make it a tiny bit more comfortable. Now, one big feature on this e-scooter is that it has an electronic brake in conjunction with regen capabilities, something we typically don't see in scooters in this price point. Now, the cool thing about the e-brake is that you can modulate your braking a lot more precisely than the mechanical disc brake. If you know, with some disc brakes, they can be a little bit jarring and stop you a little bit quicker than you want, but you can easily use the e-brake to slow yourself down and more precisely control the rate of your deceleration, which is super important, especially when going down hills. Now with the regenerative braking side of things, it's effectively the same principle as in your electric car. So instead of wasting that kinetic energy in brakes with heat, you are putting back electricity into the battery using the e-brake system, which can maybe get you a little bit more battery percentage, but probably not a huge significant margin unless you're going downhill all the way through your journey. Now, the really great thing about having an e-brake is in conjunction with the mechanical disc brake, you can pretty much stop on a dime, which is very great from an emergency situation and from a stopping performance perspective. Now, the final benefit that I want to talk about is the app integration with the e-scooter. It actually has built-in Bluetooth, so with any smartphone, you can download the Hiboy S2 app and enable a couple of cool features. When you open up the app and connect to your scooter, you're greeted with a speedometer as well as a battery indicator with percentage, as well as some key abilities that you can toggle on and off, including cruise control. You can lock the scooter, which will disable your control panel. It will also enable the electronic brake, so it's harder to roll the wheels when it's in a lock mode. You can also switch between riding modes. You can customize the speed limits on those riding modes, including sport and comfort mode, as well as change your cruise control speed and even change the response of your acceleration and braking system. You can switch between miles per hour and kilometers per hour, and probably my favorite feature is you can enable zero start. So instead of kicking the scooter over to enable the throttle, you can actually be at a standstill, twist the throttle, and it'll go. You can also walk with the scooter without having to be on it with this feature turned on. Super handy and very convenient. Now beyond that, I want to talk about the illumination system. On the S2, you have a LED headlight as well as a brake light at the back. Now in nighttime situations, you have a built-in ambient light sensor, which will turn on the side mounted LED strip lights, giving you more visibility at nighttime, especially on the sides when you turn on your headlights. And the back of the tail light will be illuminated, but when you hit your brake, it will actually flash, indicating that you are braking in night mode. Now, I have done a couple of range tests with the scooter, and my range was on average about 20 kilometer total distance travel, which is a little bit subpar than the 27 kilometer rating that it comes with as advertised, but I am a little bit heavier and I was quite aggressive with the throttle most of the time that I'm riding it. And if you're a little bit lighter, a little bit more conservative with the throttle management, you could potentially get that 27 kilometer range, but it is going to be difficult in most real world situations. Now, with the regenerative braking system, you could potentially get a greater range, but based on my experience and overall the terrain that I traversed, which was not really too hilly and not a lot of downhills, I didn't really add a significant amount of range with the regen. But potentially, if you're going downhill quite a bit, not going up those hills, you could maybe get a kilometer or two or 10% battery back in. Now in terms of the battery, we have a lithium ion 36 volts 7.5 amp hour battery. It's a smaller battery that you'd find in most entry-level e-scooters, and the charge time is relatively quick at 5 hours. Now the last thing we're going to talk about is the optional extras that you can get from Hiboy themselves, including a seat attachment, which actually has a built-in mount within the floorboard of the S2, so you can actually attach a adjustable seat. So if you want to be a little bit more comfortable for longer riding periods, you also have a waterproof scooter bag that attaches to the handlebar stem, as well as replacement battery, handlebars, and all sorts of replacement parts from Hiboy themselves. They do a great job making the scooter a little bit more accessorizable, as well as giving you the ability to repair the scooter in the case that you need some parts. Now, besides those things that we've talked about thus far, that's pretty much it. I want to give Hiboy a big shout out for giving us the opportunity to test out the S2. We would love to test out some of their upper end scooters as well, to give you guys a better idea in terms of what they offer. If you're interested in that, definitely let me know. And if you're interested in this Hiboy S2, check out the description down below. I think for around that $500-$400 mark, it's really tough to beat right now in the scooter market right now. But I'd love to know what you guys are rocking right now. If you have an e-scooter, thinking of getting one, which one do you think is best? But besides that, that's really it. Please give us a thumbs up if you like this video, have post notifications turned on so you get our videos once they become available, and subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you real soon in the next one. Take care.